Hello everyone, welcome to BIM Revolution with the Revit 2026 tutorial series. I am Musa Elham from Silk Route BIM and CAD Studio, here to share my experience with anyone interested in learning BIM and CAD software. In this course, we will take a complete learning journey from beginner to intermediate, advanced and extended workflows, using real plans and examples to build practical skills at your own pace. By the end, you will be confident using Revit essential tools, whether you're a student, drafter, structural, modular, or working on several projects. So let's dive into lesson beginner one. In today's lesson, we will cover Revit home screen and Revit user interface file menu. Alright, let's get started to open Revit now. Here we go. You can see the home screen now. As long as you can see, the home screen is divided into several helpful sections. First, let's look at the model section. Is for your actual projects like the house or building. Under model section, we have two key options, open and new. Open this command let us browse and open an existing Revit project file or plan that we have already worked on and save it to a folder on our computer. When we click open, Revit shows us this file explorer window. From there we can navigate to the folder, select the project file and load it back into Revit. For example, I select a project file that I worked before and save it to my computer. Here we go. As you can see, I worked on this project and open to Revit and start working on it. Okay, when you go back to home screen, we go to click on this button. Its name is home button or a shortcut is Control D. When we click on it, it brings us back to Revit home screen. New. When we click new, we can see this dialog box, and here we can see a template file. And template file, here we see a list of templates that we can use in our project. Here we have browse, and here we have new project, and here we have project template. Let's head on browse. As we click browse, we see a list of templates here that we can select it and use for our project. Here is many different templates like mechanical, plumbing, structural, residential. And when you click on this folder icon, here we can see a list of countries that we can use according to our region or our country's standard. And you pick the appropriate template and starting working on your project. For example, I have English Imperial and Essential template file from here and open. Now I can see that template and template file list here, and then I click on new project and OK, I start my working on a project. Go back to home screen, hitting home button or Control T. Again, new. Here we have project template. You might have question what is the difference between new project or VT file and what is the difference between project template or RTE file with predefined settings such as views, floor plans, elevation, 3D views, and title blocks. Template save time and help maintain standards. When we click template, it brings us to Revit user interface and you work on your own template. But we will work on this one later, how to create a template for our company or you can use for your project. This lesson is just for introduction. Next, look at the family section here. This holds the component you loaded into those project things like doors, windows, and furniture. So you can see here under family section, we have another key option, open and new. Open, use this option when you want to modify an existing family or create a new one. Let's click on it. For example, you might open a door family to adjust its dimension or material. New, use this option when you want to build a custom component from scratch using family template. This is how you create unique element. When we click new, you see this Explorer window, and here you have a list of templates that you can select according to your project needs and work on a new family. But we will work on family as well in the future, how to create, how to edit, how to create a new family. Below family section, we have recent file. This area is recent file for Revit project file and project template. This section. Here we have some default project from Revit 2026. As you can see here, sample architecture project, sample structure project, sample electrical, and so on. And this area, as you noticed before I open file, work it and open it, this one. And this section is for family recent file. When we open a file, it displayed here is very useful when you work on the project, and there's no need to go back to all the way and open a lot of folder and you find your project and start your work. When you open a project file, it's already appear here and you can start work your project. Here we have this section, which is called Project and Analytics section. Here we have two options, Autodesk DOCs and My Insight. Autodesk DOCs, this feature opens your cloud based on project file so you can access them from anywhere. It also manages storage, sharing, and version control, which means you don't have to worry about losing track of different file versions. Most importantly, Autodesk DOCs ensures collaborations across teams, allowing everyone to work together on the same project in the real time. My insight, this feature provides personalized tips and usage reports based on how you work in Revit. This also shows recommendations for future and suggests workflow improvement. The goal is to help you optimize efficiency and get the most out of the software. Here we have new Revit Home. This button lets us switch between the classic home interface and the new home interface in Revit. When we click here, the new home offers flexible options like grid, list view, built-in search, filters. We can filter here according to the name, according to the date, according to type, and also we can pin a project here. So this makes it easier to organize and find projects right from the start screen. Here we have Learn section. Under Learn section, we have What's New, Online Help, Community Forum, Customer Support. What's new? When we click New, this section highlights the latest Revit features and updates, so you're always aware of what's new in the software. It keeps you informed about improvements and enhancements, helping you stay updated with the tools that you can make your work more efficient. Online help. This option gives us a direct link to Autodesk official documentation to provide step-by-step guidance. So whenever we are unsure about a tool or workflow, we can quickly access reliable instruction right inside Revit. As we click here, we can see a lot of lesson instruction, what's new in Revit. Let's get back to another option, Community Forum. This option connects you directly to Autodesk User Forum. It's a space where you can ask questions, share tips. This forum is a great way to learn the community and discover practical solutions to real-world challenges. Customer support. This option gives you access to Autodesk official support channels. It's designed to help with troubleshooting, accounts issues, or any technical problem you might encounter while using Revit. Here we have Home button. A short key is Ctrl D. When we click on it, it brings us to Revit user interface. And when we click back on it, it brings us back to Revit home screen. Here we have Back button, a shortcut also Ctrl D. When we click on it, it brings back to Revit user interface. Alright, let's step into the Revit interface. As we enter the Revit interface, we click New. Here we select our project template. I selected architectural template. Here we select New and then OK. Now that we are inside Revit, let's take a structured tour of the workspace. Everything you see on the screen right now makes up the Revit user interface. We will move from the very top of the screen all the way down to bottom, so you'll know exactly where to find every tools when you need it. This is file menu. Starting a project, the file menu. The file menu where everything begins. This is where you create new project, open existing ones, save your work, export drawings, and adjust your software setting. When we click file menu or application menu, here we see several comments. As we move our cursor on new, under new we have several sub comments or option. Here we have project that we create a new project. Here we have family that we can create a custom component or family. Here we have conceptual mass, build early stage missing forms. Here we have title block that we can create sheet or title block to your project or for your company. Here we have an annotation symbol that we can create annotation or symbol for our project. As we move our cursor on open, under open we have several another commands. Here we have cloud. If you save a project or open a project from cloud, here we have project that you can open an existing project. Here we have family that you can open a family, Revit file, IFC, and sample file. Save as usual. You can save your project. Here we have save as, create a new copy of your project, family, template, or cloud model. This is great for backups and version control. Here we have export that you can export your project to CAD format. As you see here, we have several CAD format you can use or export your project according to this format. Here we have PDF that you can export your project to PDF. Here we have IFC. Here we have DWF and DWFX that we can export our project to this format. Here we have ODBAC database that we can export our project to this format. And here we have animation that we can export our project to an animation. Here we have a report that we can export our project to a report format. And finally, we have export options. Before you save your file for other software, you can come here, set the rules. This setting allow you to predefine things like layer, color, and units, so your project looks perfect when it's opened in another program. Here we have export setups DWG, and here export setups DGN. Okay, that's for export. Here we have print that you can print your project. Print batch, you can print to PDF. Print preview, you can preview your project. Here we have print setup, and finally we have close. Here we have present file. Any project that you open, it appears here. You can sort according to your folder, or here we can sort according to this type of list. Software settings or option. This is where you control your graphics, file location, keyboard shortcut, and user interface settings. When we click on options, we see this dialog box. So here is a lot of things to talk about it, but today I'm going to talk about color section, how to change the user interface color. As we click color, here we see UI active dim, and you can change background color or dim color. Here we have three options: dark, light, use system settings. It's totally up to you which one you wanna select it. I wanna select dark now. And canvas colors, under canvas color scheme, you also can change to dark or light. For example, I wanna select light now here. You see the difference, and click OK. Now we see the work area is light and this area is dark, and then we go back to option. If you want to change to light, you can change to light, and also you change this one different like dark, and okay, it's changed like this, and working area is dark and other section is light. If you wanna use all the same color, you go to option, color, light or dark. I wanna select light now and use light, okay. Alright, this is our introduction Revit home screen and user interface file menu. Thank you for joining me in this lesson. If you found this lesson helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the upcoming modeling lessons, especially as we move into the modeling stage of the course. You can also download today's lesson project file from the description below. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.